Hello, good to see everybody. Thanks so much for joining. What I'd like to do today is just kind of give a little bit of overview about Basey Insurance and really the internship opportunities and the partnership we have with the University of Texas at Arlington. So instead of jumping right into information about the company, and I will certainly do that, I'd like to just do a little bit of personal introduction because I don't have that in the slide set. My name is Tom Basey. I've started the company Basey Insurance. We're based here in Arlington, but we do service a larger area. I'm an alumni of the University of Texas at Arlington, and so I value the partnership I have with the university. The rest of this discussion, I'm just going to kind of share some information to help students at the university understand my business and potentially consider collaborating with me. So here we go. I'm not going to do this whole presentation. I'm going to select a few slides. I'm also going to LinkedIn. Maybe I'll show up. I have other things on my show and tell. It's informal, but I'm glad to share this with you. I think I'm going to start with the markets we serve. My company serves three markets: individuals, Medicare beneficiaries, and small companies. And so when I say individuals, I mean someone who's 18 to 64 years old. And if they're potentially, many of those people are going to need health insurance, particularly if they don't have health insurance through their employer. I do this as an insurance agent. I'm appointed in the state of Texas and about 18 other states as well. So I can do business in any state, but to do one that I'm not already licensed, it would require me to go out and get a non-resident license, but that's certainly something I can do. Medicare beneficiaries is another market we serve. They're specifically people 65 years old. There are a few exceptions to that. If somebody's permanently disabled, they may get on a little bit earlier, but I provide solutions in health insurance to Medicare people. Both of those solutions can be challenging for people. One, to understand what's going on, and then two, to make a selection that works for them. So really, that's my charter, to help people understand what is the health insurance that is available to them, or what is Medicare and how does it work. And then as an independent agent, I'm appointed with multiple different carriers, and I'll show you a couple of slides to help that stick, but I help them make a selection for a plan that they will enroll in. In addition, I can provide health insurance solutions to small companies as well. So that's companies as small as three, can't do two, or solopreneur. Well, a solopreneur can actually be under the individual, but a small company with as few as three people can get a small group health insurance plan. And if they get that, potentially they can actually have the company pay for at least 50%, perhaps more of the premium. And that is potentially also a business expense that can be taken off for taxes. So to reiterate, three markets served: individuals, Medicare beneficiaries, and small companies. And I do some other types of insurance, including some life insurance solutions. And without getting into the details of that, suffice it to say, I don't protect property and casualty solutions. I don't protect people's homes and cars. I do protect people. So I have health insurance solutions and life insurance solutions. One of the things that includes actually is long-term care. So long-term care actually doesn't go underneath health, because by definition, there are things that people need help with that are not health related. If you can't feed yourself, or if you can't get out of bed just because you're old and your joints are worn down, you're not ill, health insurance or Medicare is not going to cover that. Long-term care solution can help pay someone, a healthcare professional or a family member, to take care of you, but that's not health related. So there's a separate insurance, and that is underneath the life domain. So life insurance, including long-term care. And what I'm going to do is, this is just a nice example of some of the carriers. I'm an independent broker, so this is some of the health insurance carriers that I'm appointed with. I have others as well, but I'm appointed with these, and I can offer solutions from these big major carriers. Similarly, for a life insurance or long-term care, is another set of major carriers that I'm appointed with. So the takeaway at this point is, I'm a UTA alumni, I'm an independent health insurance broker, and I'm appointed with major carriers, and I provide health and life insurance solutions. Now, I'd like to show you and talk a little bit about, well, how does a UT Arlington student collaborate with me? So I'm going to get out of that presentation. And I'm going to go to a nice solution. This is kind of full circle. I'm inside LinkedIn, and there's a post that people are reacting to. When I click on that post, let's go see what that is. This is someone who's interned with me, and this is a post. This is actually a repost they did of a post from the University of Texas at Arlington, where they talked about what was going on here. And so this particular person worked with me, but my message is, the good news is, the work you do, message number one is, when you do this, it's going to be visible. And what I collaborate with people on their career. So I'm going to collaborate with you to help my business, but I'm going to collaborate with you to help your career. So what happens is if you come to work at Basey Insurance, one of the things I ask you to do is to document your employment time here. So right there, this person worked 6 months with me and it's there. So this is a way that you can get experience. Often if you finish up your undergraduate or your graduate, one of the third things when you're looking for a job is they want to know your work experience. You're going to work with me and it's going to be documented here. And we're going to do some specific things. So we use specific tools to solve some particular problems. And I'll give you an example of that. But my message is one of my objectives for someone who interns with me is that they are better for having done this internship. They are more employable and it's documented. And there's actually a portfolio too they can actually show. So now I'm going to show you an example of the same person, what they did here. And I think it's, a picture's worth 1,000 words. This is easily interpretable, I think, comparatively. So this is an email address. This is an email that I get automatically generated. And I could click to this and go to the interactive report, but I'm not going to for the ease of this presentation. I'm simply going to show you this screen capture of it. But the takeaway is I get this weekly. This is website interactions and social media interactions. I have really my Basey Insurance website. This is Google My Business. And then I have one other one called Health Sherpa. But basically, these are 3 websites that I have where people can digitally engage with my company. And so here's some information about the number of users that happen over time. Okay. This is social media. Now, this particular report, this is an example of how we're working through this. This only has Facebook and Instagram in this data. Actually, I am on basically every major platform, including Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and Pinterest, but this report only captures Facebook and Instagram. And so you can take away some things about traffic on each of these things. Here's some stuff about actually where they are. This is because I'd like to know where these people, I remarked previously, I'm appointed in multiple states. At this time, I do not have products. I can sell products to international clients, but really those clients have to have some kind of interest in the United States. That is, a major insurance carrier will not insure the life of a person internationally kind of just for no reason. But if the person, for example, has a financial interest here in the United States, be that owning property or something like that, then it makes financial sense for them to be insured for that. So I can actually offer international life insurance students, insurance solutions, for example, for international. But in general, my market is really for folks who are residing in the U.S. Now here is, in this same report, here's some more specifics about Facebook. So here is page followers, total likes, page views, content reach. That's specific. So this is kind of a drill down. The first one was an aggregate, but this shows some information. Here's even some likes across cities. That's a nice one. Here's YouTube. Actually, I have presence on YouTube. There's an interview I did and some video. And I haven't been as active on YouTube, but my point is you can drill down and find out more specifics. And then here's Instagram. Now, interestingly, this is not working. Data set configuration error. So the first thing this shows me is today, at least, or when I got this, there's a persistence problem on the data connection, but that's okay. I work with my intern students to figure out what that problem is and solve those problems. But what I like now, what I've shown you now is an example of how a data analyst person was working with me. So this is an automated dashboard. I want to make data-driven decisions in my business. Well, I can't make those decisions if I can't get my arms around the data. So this is an example of me doing it. Okay, I've shown you those. And now I think another thing I will share with you, I'm going to go to this right here. This is Salesforce, and this is a dashboard in Salesforce. Number one, Salesforce is arguably, I think historically, I guess it is still the number one CRM, customer relationship management software. When I embarked on this entrepreneurial journey 6 or more years ago, I decided to use a solution. Candidly, I was still kind of chicken when I first started. I thought, if I want to go back to work for someone else, I want to use Salesforce so I know how to use it. I picked it, but I'm not going back. Entrepreneurialism suits me well and I'm sticking it. But the takeaway on this is an automated report that I do for myself. But the clients right here, the number one source of clients are actually other clients. And what I like about that is that's kind of good feedback for me. Apparently, I'm doing something right if clients are referring. Then the second thing, this leads potential clients, prospects. It shows networking, events. I do get client referral, a direct mail, in-store, social media. And that's the thing, I'm trying to drive social media further up. So one of our big objectives is I'd love for social media to go up higher to be a source of more clients. Well, right now it's down there and we're trying to work that. So the takeaway from this desktop is I do moderated reporting in Salesforce. I am doing a good job because my number one source of clients is actual clients. And I do all different kinds of things, including events and networking, and I'm trying to drive social media up. Okay, having said that, I'm approaching just about, I think the last thing I'll do is this. I'm going to go to my calendar because I collaborate with folks. Now, this week, I'm going out of town for 4th of July weekend. I'm going to go to the next week. This next week, there's data analytics summer intern meeting. Here's business and marketing summer intern meeting. Typically, my cadence is meeting once a week. So for the interns that I engage, we get together and we meet online virtually. Last semester, I had three business / marketing / accounting people working with me, and I had 4 data analytics, and I'm in process of doing that again. But so I meet with folks and we work together to solve problems, and I collaborate with them. We can figure out time. Largely it is virtual, but sometimes we do get together. We'll get together over a cup of coffee, sometimes near the campus, or we'll get together at my office. I do have an office not far from the UT Arlington campus, so we'll get together there. But mostly it's virtual, and we work on solutions predominantly around driving new business. That's social media campaigns. We've started working on sales funnels and lead magnets without getting into detail on that. So people are generating content and helping me work that, so that I will, for example, on the turning 26, we posted something earlier this month. Hey, are you turning 26? Have a look at this link. Or we do the same thing for loss of job, and you click on it and you get a PDF that provides some guidance. If you're just turning 26, you may not know what a deductible is. You may not know what the premium for the plan means. It'll explain it to you and help you understand that. But by the way, whatever social media platform you picked on, when you click on that, often we're going to ask you for an email address. That way we can follow up with you and reach out and say, hey, are you turning 26? Can we be of assistance? That kind of thing. So that is the lead magnet, is what I call the downloadable thing of value that you provide to someone, showing you're willing to help. And then the sales funnel is we publish that across social media platforms, and we will follow up with people if they're interested in that. That's how we know. So instead of just posting it out there and waiting for somebody to call, we kind of give them something and see if we can narrow the funnel, if you will. And then this thing right here is actually 2 weeks ago, prior to this week, I asked the students individually to get on my calendar. Now, there are different people in here. There's a student there. There's a student there. They jumped on my calendar. Sometimes we meet one-on-one. Calendly, basically, I only work approximately business hours, but anybody can get on my calendar at any time and just schedule. So next week is the week after 4th of July, still light, but every day there's some time slot, so somebody can jump on my calendar to talk as well. And if we need to talk on a weekend or evening, we can do that. But my message is, I work together with the students to work on their time schedule, figuring out when we need to talk about things. And I even sometimes, if they need documentation on their internship for whatever reason, I'll provide those documents. And I'm not hard and fast on exactly when the date starts and ends. I work together. So really, at this point, that's the overview that I want to do. I've talked about my business overall. I talked about the objectives and how we collaborate with interns, and then really even the logistics, how we work together. That's all I have at this time. I would encourage everybody to find Basey Insurance on social media platforms, whichever you prefer. Reach out and connect to me there. Connect to me personally on LinkedIn too. If you're an alumni, or candidly, if you're on LinkedIn and you're a business professional, I want to connect with you. So feel free to connect. That's all I have at this time. Have a good rest of your day.